Hello, and welcome to the No Wrong Notes podcast, a show hosted by me, Veronica Kokos, holistic voice teacher and singer just like you. Grab a cup of tea, relax, and sit back as we discuss all things singing technique, mindset tips, and more so you can show up as the most confident and creative singer you can be. Hi friends, I hope that you're having a good week. I wanted to pop on here and chat about an announcement, which if you've read the episode title, you already know what it is, which is that I'm going to be taking a summer break, a summer hiatus from the podcast. This is something that I've been thinking about lately, and I had specifically been thinking about my workload, and I've been super busy, you guys. I've been having a great time working with all of the students that I'm working with privately and also through my Curious Singer membership. And in order to show up as my fullest, most authentic self in all of this work, working with students, I realized that, I've got to take a few things off my plate for the time being. And so as much as I love making this podcast, this is probably my favorite form of content creation, if I'm being honest. I don't need to look pretty when recording these episodes, and they're pretty easy to edit. And I also really enjoy talking with the guests on this show and learning new things from them. But at the moment, my priority numero uno, as it always is singers that I'm working with. And we've got a virtual open mic that I'm just having for my students coming up in June. I've got some other events coming up for my students that I'm really excited about. And as always, that is priority number one. And so for the time being, I'm going to take a summer hiatus from the podcast, but I'm not actually going to be stopping work on the podcast. And I know I was just saying about taking things off of my plate. I think the big thing that I'm taking off of my plate is the pressure to get these episodes out every 2 weeks. With that being said, I'm going to be recording some new, exciting episodes over the summer. I'm going to be talking with some guests over the summer. I'm going to have a whole new batch of episodes ready to go, hopefully in August or maybe September. Again, this is a little summer break. This isn't a forever break. And so I hope that, as I was just saying earlier, I was thinking a lot about, how I can show up as my fullest, most authentic self in my work with my students. And I think that is something I would encourage you to think about this week or maybe over the summer, is thinking about in what ways am I showing up authentically in these different areas of my life, in my singing, in my work, in my relationships, and in what ways am I not showing up authentically, and what's keeping me from showing up as my fullest self? Maybe, as in my case, there's just too much on the plate. There's too much on the docket to think about, and you're maybe spreading yourself too thin. Or maybe it's something else, something a little bit different. So that is kind of what I would like to leave you with today, a question of sorts to leave you with this summer to think about. All right, friends, if you maybe want to stay in touch this summer, the Curious Singer membership is probably the best way to do that. Because I got to be honest, you guys, I've got a wait list at the moment for private lessons. And if you want to get started right now, if you're like, hey, I really want to work on my singing and I want to work on it with you, the Curious Singer membership is the way to go. And I got to tell you guys, I've, really expanded the membership over these last couple months in terms of what I'm offering through the membership. I just added an exciting new mini course, The Rising Voice, to the membership. And that mini course is only available through the membership. Okay, you can't get that anywhere else on my website or anywhere else on the internet. That is only available through my membership. And that mini course is basically all of the things that you would get with me in our first few lessons together. Honestly, the first 6 to 8 weeks of lessons, all of those techniques and skills that we cover in those lessons are covered in the mini course. So if you want to start your singing journey, or maybe you just want to get back into your singing journey, maybe you've kind of taken some time off from singing and you kind of want to get back into it and want to tighten up your skills, getting in the Curious Singer membership is the way to go, because like I said, I've got my mini course in there. There's now a Discord for Curious Singer members, so you guys can communicate with each other, ask questions. I regularly post weekly singing challenges in the Discord. There's also discounts on drop-in lessons as part of the Curious Singer membership. So if you are in the membership and you want to book a drop-in lesson, because I do leave lesson slots open in my schedule specifically for drop-ins, you can drop in and you get a 20% discount, which is honestly, that's a good deal, you guys. Additionally, you get weekly feedback on your singing through WhatsApp. You send me an audio or video recording of your singing, and I send you a 5 to 10 minute video or audio response. So if you want to work on your singing this summer, or you're trying to get back into your singing and you want to stay in touch, join me in the Curious Singer membership. If you are interested in private lessons with me, you can reach out. Let me know that you want to be on my wait list so you can be the first to know when I have an open slot that matches your availability. I will also continue posting content on social media, on Instagram and TikTok, so be sure to follow me there. And in the meantime, happy singing, y'all.